Hello everyone, welcome back to Budget Freedom. My name is Jessica and I wanted to do a quick little video for you guys to talk about something that's really been on my mind this week, especially with back to school happening and all the sales going on. I'm sure a lot of you guys are having the same kind of thoughts or struggles right now, and I just thought it would be a good topic to talk about. So what I wanted to talk about is, why is it that we want retail therapy so much, is what I'll say. When your cash flow is tight, or when you're on a budget and you have a lot of big goals and a lot of big dreams, and you want to achieve those goals faster, and sometimes when the money's like a little bit slow, or you're just waiting for that paycheck and you're like, man, why can't I save double? It gets frustrating sometimes, guys. I know you guys are all thinking it. I think it. We all think it. We're on track. We're doing our financial journey, and we're chugging away at it. But sometimes it gets frustrating. Sometimes we think that we just want it to happen a lot faster. And I don't know. Maybe some of you guys don't have this thing, but sometimes when I get a little bit frustrated with how fast the progress is going, I do want retail therapy. I don't know why, when you're trying to save more money and trying to pay off more things or do things faster, you're thinking of spending money, which is the opposite of the goal that you're trying to accomplish. But it does happen. I'm sitting and I'm thinking, man, I got to buy the kids new school clothes, and I got to buy, some gifts for my son's birthday, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. And then I'm working at the cash flow, and I'm like, man, it's going to take another 2 paychecks until I get there. And then I'm like, maybe I should just buy it all now and just make myself feel better today. And I don't know why that happens. It's the most bizarre thing, because that's the opposite of what we talk about here. It's the opposite of what we're trying to do. We have those sinking funds for those purposes. But I want to be real with you guys. I want to share with you. It happens to all of us. I have my sinking fund for my son's birthday. I have my sinking fund for my kids' clothes. I have these sinking funds, and I know that in the next 3 weeks, I'm going to have all the money I need to spend it. But sometimes you get in a mood, and I'm like, well, I want it to happen today. And I can just go put it on my credit card and then pay it off in 2 weeks. And why is this dangerous? And why should we avoid giving into these kind of temptations? The problem is, okay, today, it builds a habit. I think that's the fastest way. It builds a habit. So if you give in today to that kind of retail therapy, and then you feel better, then you're teaching your body and your brain and your emotions, I feel better when I go and do what I want. But then what happens tomorrow, or the next day, or next week, when you again feel like that, when you're again frustrated? Then you want some more of that retail therapy. That's where the danger comes in, because you spent money that you have in your sinking funds that you know that you're going to have in 3 weeks, but the second shopping spree, that's not saved for, that's not budgeted for. The third, the fourth, that's where you get into trouble. That's why it's so important to keep these things in check, because if you give in to those feelings and that frustration, you dig yourself a hole really, really fast. And then the worst part is, then your situation becomes so much worse, because then in 3 to 4 weeks, you're in a much bigger hole of debt. You're more frustrated with the situation, because now it's going to take you longer to get out of it. You have to readjust everything, retighten everything, redo your budget. You get frustrated because you blew your budget and you didn't stick to what you know you should be sticking to. And it just causes a lot more stress for you. Sometimes, we have a really bad day. It might have nothing to do with money. You might just have a really awful day. And I am a true believer of balance. If you have a really bad day, and you know that if you just go buy your kid that shirt that you've been meaning to get them, and it's on your list, you need to buy it, and that's just going to make you feel better, get your mind off things, and clear your energy. If you are able to pay for it cash from somewhere, and if you are strong enough to recognize that this is a one-time thing that you're going to do for your well-being, and to just separate you from the world for a little while, you could do that. But again, it's a really, really dangerous slope. It's a really dangerous slope, because the problem is you're creating that habit, you're feeding that habit, you're feeding those You're teaching your brain and your mind that when you spend, when you have that real retail therapy, that it makes you feel better. And the next time you have that situation, you're going to want to do the same thing. And that's the habits that we're trying to break. Those are the habits that we don't want to get into. So what I would say is, instead of giving into that, because you do need to care for yourself, you do need to care for, your well-being so that you can wake up tomorrow and go to work and earn more money and stay on this financial journey. Try to find something that you can do for free that will give you the same emotion. So if it's a walk in nature, if it's reading a book, if it's something like manageable, like buy yourself a treat that you really like. If you're into chips, you like something salty, or if you need something sweet, get yourself chocolate or an ice cream or whatever it is, hard candy. Rather treat yourself with something small like that and give yourself the same kind of love and the same kind of emotional release than the retail therapy. Sometimes what I do is I like to blast music. I'll put on one of my favorite songs and just put it on full blast and really just enjoy it and let the emotion pass. You'll be very surprised that if you can just give 2 minutes to something else, your emotion will pass. It's been scientifically proven that it takes 120 seconds to either build or break a habit. So if you can last that 2 minutes of resisting that retail purchase and do something else, you're going to teach your body really, really quickly that you don't need that retail release in order to get happy and get that frustration out of your body and just get recentered. So maybe that would be the thing that I would leave you with the most is, when you're feeling like you need retail therapy because you're frustrated for whatever reason, take 2 minutes of your time and do anything else that distracts you, that makes you happy, and see if it actually helps you to not want that retail therapy anymore. All right, guys, I hope that this video helps you out. I hope it gives you some tips, encourages you a little bit, lets you know that we're all struggling with the same things when it comes to our financial journeys, and that there's other ways to cope with it and other ways to deal with it. Please like and subscribe and leave some comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.